Hello, everybody. Good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of Henley High School Baseball on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. It's another wonderful day here at Rosser Field as the Hornets have made it to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinals as they host the Tillamook Cheesemakers. Glad to be with you. My name is Josh Eldridge. That's right, semifinal action lies ahead of us today. The Hornets enter play 25-3. They are the number one ranked team in the OSAA 4A bracket. Tillamook Cheesemakers enter play 17-10, the number 2 team out of the Coapa League and the 12 seed in the bracket. Both of these teams one win away from making it to the coveted state championship game. For Henley, it would be their 14th appearance. For Tillamook, it would be their first. We'll talk about all that coming up here in just a bit as we continue your pregame show this afternoon. We'll introduce you to the starting lineups presented by Gary Sheen and Country Financial.
Hi, I'm Jill with Klamath Falls Honda. If you live in Southern Oregon, you know the weather can keep you guessing. 1 minute it can be sunny, and the next something like this. That's why vehicles like the Honda Ridgeline just make sense. With available all-wheel drive and the capability to handle whatever rolls in, you're ready for it. And customers like Rob are ready too.
Couldn't have picked a better day.
So whether it's sunshine or snow, stop by and say hi. We'll keep you safe on the road.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food.
For your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on mybasin.com ahead of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal. You can hear the crowd in attendance today. It is a packed house here at Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School. So glad to be along with you today as we bring up the Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance scoreboard. Let's go ahead and introduce you to today's starting lineups, and we'll start with our visitors today, the Tillamook Cheesemakers. Our starting lineup to you presented by Gary Sheen and Country Financial is the first. The starting catcher today for the Cheesemakers. The count is a ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff hitter in the order for Tillamook. Bear with us today. It is a warm, the heat. That's why your video feed might be cutting out here momentarily. We shouldn't be having that issue as we move along today. As Hamilton delivers the 1-2 pitch. A bouncer to Meyer over at first, and Ian is going to take it to the bag himself for the first out of this semifinal matchup. Corbin Hamilton on the hill today for Henley. The defense behind him, Jacoby Tacchini, the catcher. Derek Cox is at third. Connor Shively at short. Carson Sims at second. Ian Meyer at first. In the outfield from left to right, it's Ryan Douglas, Max Price, and Alex Smith. Aiden Garcia getting ready to step in now for the Cheesemakers, batting here from the right side. Hamilton ready to deliver the pitch. It's another bouncer to the right side. Meyer comes over for it. Hamilton wins the foot race to the bag, and there's 2 gone on a 3-1 putout. 2 outs in the top of the first inning, and in steps Jacoby Goss. Goss, the starting pitcher today for Tillamook, trying to get a little rally started for himself and his squad here against Corbin Hamilton. Again, the Hornets, the number 1 seed, is hit into the air. Left field, that should get down for a base hit, and it drops in front of Douglas. Left field, that should get down for a base hit, and it drops in front of Douglas. Big turnaround first for Goss, but he will stay put at first. A 2-out single for the Cheesemakers. The Mook here in the top of the first inning. It brings up Kevin Hurleyman. Hurleyman batting here from the right side in the cleanup spot. Decent lead off of first base for Goss as well, as Hamilton now has a base runner to contend with in the first inning of this semifinal matchup. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. That one's going to dip below the zone, and the count is 1-0. The other semifinal today to determine the other finalist. The 4A classification is between Marist Catholic and Scappoose. That game takes place at 5 o'clock today. So all eyes, at least for the moment, here at Rosser Field as Hamilton gets across a strike, a two-seam fastball on the outside. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Hamilton working with a typical mix, a four-seam, two-seam, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes to Kevin Hurleyman. One and two, Hamilton set to deliver. Here's the pitch. It's an upstairs breaking pitch that's fouled off the right side. The count will remain a ball and 2 strikes to Kevin Hurleyman. Hurleyman, a junior. In fact, every member of this Tillamook team, either a junior or a senior. No underclassmen on this Cheesemakers squad. Here's the 1-2 on the way. It is sliced foul once more off to the right side, and so we'll do it again. A ball and 2 strikes. Long at-bats early, give you a chance to see what Hamilton is working with. So he's going to try to find a put-away pitch here. Decent lead again off of first for Goss. Hamilton not worried about him, though, going right at the plate. This getting ready to step in here against Corbin Hamilton after a back-to-back 2-out base hits. And here's the pitch from Corb. That's an upstairs curveball. Might have been a slider, called a strike. The count is 0-1 to Wrigley Percy. He'll be followed in the order by Chance Fletcher, and Tyler Larson waits in the hole. Hamilton ready with the pitch. That one's a check swing. Body went around. Count is 0-2 to Percy. Hamilton trying to get out of the top of this first inning without allowing a runner to come across. Decent lead off a second for the runner in scoring position, Goss. As Hamilton kicks and delivers the 0-2. Swung on and missed, and that'll do in the top of the first inning. Couple of base hits, but the Cheesemakers can't get any across. We'll head to the bottom of the first next on mybasin.com. And the 1-2 on the way is going to be looked at for strike 3, and there are now 2 outs in the bottom half of the second inning. Bases remain loaded, but we go back to the top of the order here for Connor Shively. Pitch into Shively is called a strike, and the count is 0-1. Trying to come up at a big spot here is Shively. The 0-1 is hit into the air left side, and the count is 0-2 to Shively. Welcome you back. Those listening on mybasin.com had some issues with the heat earlier today, but it looks like we should be back and ready to go. Appreciate for those of us who found our broadcast on the radio on 104.3 and 960 Sports. If we do wind up continuing to have issues with the video, which I hope doesn't happen, you can listen to us on 104.3 960 Sports locally here in the Klamath Basin, or you can find that same audio stream on our website on mybasin.com. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Shively. That one misses in. A nice job by Maciel to keep that one in front of him. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Appreciate your patience if you stuck with us through some of those technical difficulties. We are still scoreless here in the bottom of the second inning. Shively 0 for 1 today, and he's got 2 strikes on him here with the bases loaded. Goss trying to get out of this frame. Shively lifts one into the air. It's hitting the infield. Should be playable for somebody. The shortstop, Hurleyman, is going to be called off by the third baseman, Mans. He tucks it away for the out. The Hornets load the bases, but they can't get any across, and we go to the top half of inning number 3 scoreless on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial Office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Josh Eldridge back with you as you get set for the top half of inning number 3 on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. It is the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. As Vincent Maciel leads things off for the Mook, he's followed by Tristan Smith-Evans and Aiden Garcia. And the first pitch is going to miss upstairs, and it is 1-0. Hornets loaded the bases in the bottom half of the second inning, couldn't get anything across. It's up to Corbin Hamilton to try to keep this a scoreless ball game as he pushes across a strike in a 1-0 count, and it is even 1-1. Second time these two teams have met this season as that pitch misses inside. 2-1 the count now. It was a 4-3 win back on, I believe, March 26th was when these two teams played. And it was up at the Dalles Invitational early in the season. It was the 5th game of the year for both of these teams. Interestingly enough, for Tillamook, they lost 3 of their first 4 games of the season. That's when their head coach resigned for reasons I was unable to find via newspaper clippings or anything like that. But since then, they've turned into a really good ball club. And a leadoff single here for Vincent Maciel in the top half of inning number 3. They're in business here in the state semifinal. Tristan Smith-Evans getting ready to step in now for the Cheesemakers. He is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out his first time up. Also, looks like we're going to see a courtesy runner in for the catcher. Looks like Lakota Navarre, the senior, going to be aboard at first. So Navarre aboard at first, and Tristan Smith-Evans at the plate for the Mook. Hamilton sets, and the pitch. He's showing bunt. Pitch is called a strike on the outer third, and the count is 0-1. Runner aboard at first and nobody out here in the state semifinal. Like I said, other semifinal going on today, Marist Catholic and Scappoose. That game starts at 5 o'clock in Eugene. Here is the 0-1 pitch to Smith-Evans. He shows bunt again, pushes it down the first base side. That's a good bunt. Meyer going to underhand toss to Sims at first. The play is made at first. They try to throw to second to get Navarre, but it is to no avail. He will be in safely in scoring position. There's one out in the inning for Aiden Garcia. Good play there by Ian Meyer to keep his composure and get the dish off to Sims, who is covering the bag. Sometimes those plays can be tough for a first baseman to make when you're so focused on the baseball and you hear those footsteps coming at you down the line. But a good job by the senior Meyer to make the play and record the out. One gone, runner at second, and in steps Garcia. Here's the pitch on the way from Hamilton. It is going to be called a ball. Misses off the outside part of the plate. The count is 1-0. Garcia grounded out in the first inning for him. It was also a play to the right side of the infield. 1-0 the count. Leading off a second is Navarre. Hamilton clocks a pretty good lead, and the 1-0 pitch in is an off-speed pitch that is waved at and missed, and the count is even now at a ball and a strike. Jacoby Goss, the starting pitcher for Tillamook, is on deck. He hopes to bat with a couple of men on if Garcia can find a way aboard. Here's the 1-1 from Hamilton. That one's hit into the air, center field. Price over to his right a couple of steps, but he makes the catch for the second out. So 2 gone here for Jacoby Goss and the Tillamook Cheesemakers, top of the third inning in this state semifinal. Goss singled his first time up, was left stranded in scoring position in the second inning. It was a ball that just found the exact right spot it needed to in left field. Kind of a bloop base hit, but in this moment, that's all Tillamook would need to try to score the opening run of the ball game. With a runner in scoring position in Navarre with a pretty good lead, and he's going to be moving on contact. Hamilton gets set to deliver to Jacoby Goss. He kicks and delivers. The pitch is below the knees, maybe a touch outside as well, and the count is 1-0. After Goss in the order, it's Kevin Hurleyman. Pitch from Hamilton as he comes set. Here it comes. That one is going to find the outside corner slider. Hamilton might have been gifted a couple of inches there off the plate, but he'll take it. The count is even now at a ball and a strike. Expect more of that off-speed stuff here with the runner in scoring position. Hamilton might be trying to create some weak contact here, trying to get Goss to roll over it. Here's the 1-1. Goes off speed away again, but this time it misses wide. The count is 2-1. Goss batting here from the right side. The senior for Tillamook trying to drive in the opening run of the ball game. Here's the 2-1 from Hamilton. He checks his swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. That looked knee-high over the plate to me. Probably could have been called a strike, as the Henley fans would like to say around here. You can hear the moans and groans from the home supporters, but the count's 3-1. A good hitter's count here for Goss. He can be picky in a big spot early in this ball game. Hamilton comes set. Tacchini with the signal. The 3-1 is going to miss outside, and a walk delivered to Goss brings up Kevin Hurleyman. Only the first walk issued today by Corbin Hamilton, as Hurleyman gets ready to step in for the Cheesemakers. Try to take a look at the numbers here on Hurleyman in just a moment, as Coach Craig Connor comes on out of the dugout to have a discussion with his pitcher. And be interesting to see how long of a leash Hamilton has today with pitch counts and the like. You imagine they're probably going to give him up to 55, maybe more if the game is close, of course, with a potential state championship game looming this Saturday for both of these teams. But you got to get there first, and it's just an interesting dance that coaching staffs have to play this time of year with their pitchers. As we get ready for Kevin Hurleyman to step in, who's 1 for 1 today. Hurleyman is a .297 hitter and trying to come up in the biggest spot of the day so far. An RBI opportunity for his Cheesemakers. The runners at first and second, and 2 outs in this semifinal contest. Hurleyman singled earlier today. He hit the ball hard into center field his first time up. Modest lead off of second for Navarre. Sims trying to keep him honest over there. Sizable lead off of first for Goss. The pitch home from Hamilton is a knee-high two-seam fastball called a strike. And the count is 0-1 to Hurleyman. Hurleyman, a junior, getting the start at shortstop today for the Mook. Tacchini sets up the signal and awaits the 0-1 pitch. That one's going to miss upstairs by the hands of Hurleyman. The count is even at a ball and a strike. Warming up here in the basin, 79 degrees. Partly cloudy skies, although it is beautiful out here. And any day at Rosser Field is a beautiful day in my book. Here's the 1-1 from Corbin Hamilton. Kicks and delivers. That pitch swung on and missed. Might have been the changeup as it just dropped off the table there at the very end. Swinging over the top of it was Hurleyman, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Hamilton trying to find a put-away pitch and leave a couple of guys on. Get his men up in the bottom half of this inning. Hamilton gets the signal. Doesn't like it at first. Now is agreeable. Here's the 1-2. Checks the runner at second. Now motions home. It is going to miss low above the knees. The count is 2-2. Corbin's going to have to find another strikeout pitch here to end this inning. We'll see if Hurleyman can take advantage of a second life here in this at-bat. Here's the 2-2. Pitch from Hamilton. That one swung on and missed. No doubt about it. Hamilton escapes the jam in the third. We'll go to the bottom half scoreless next at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Nearly set for the bottom half of inning number 3 here at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal on 104.3 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. Appreciate you finding our broadcast wherever you might be, however you might be listening. I know across the state of Oregon, got quite a few fans up in Tillamook checking out our stream today. So, again, thank you for joining us. If you've done it all season long and you're a Hornets faithful, thank you all the same. It's a great day for baseball. There's a light breeze here blowing out to left field as it typically does. It's pushing 80 degrees here in the basin. It's a wonderful day for baseball. And so far, it's been a competitive game. Scoreless through 2.5, and the Hornets a chance to break that tie here coming up with Carson Sims, Jacoby Takini, and Ian Meyer due up. That is 2, 3, and 4 in their order. As Sims gets ready to step in now, I don't quite know how he's doing this. Like I said earlier today, as Tillamook was warming up, we had guys out here with wet towels around their necks trying to cool off and stay hydrated. It looks like Sims has got a hood on under his jersey as he chops one down the third base side. It is going to be a foul ball. And the count is 0-1. I don't quite know how he's sporting a hoodie in this 80-degree weather under a jersey, but you know what? I think it's more of a superstition thing for him than anything, to be honest. He was wearing that a lot during March and April when it was cool outside, and he was off to a great start to the season, hitting up near 500. And the hoodie, well, it was part of his outfit, and so I think it's probably a superstition thing for him to try to keep that hood on and keep the good times flowing for Carson Sims. So he steps back into the box in an 0-1 count. Goss ready to deliver. He checks his swing on a pitch that dips below the zone, but he holds up in time, and the count is even to Sims, 1 ball and 1 strike. 0 for 1 in the contest today. Sims struck out in the first inning. The pitch here is hit into the air center field. Moving over is Garcia. Has to go a long way for it in the gap, but he makes the catch after a long run for the first out in the bottom of the third inning. And it brings up Jacoby Takini, who's 1 for 1 today for the Hornets. He singled and was courtesy ran for in that inning. Porter Frost, who runs in for Takini, was left stranded at first base. Like I said, scoreless here in the bottom of the third. The Hornets loaded the bases in the second, but were unable to get anything going. In fact, first time through the order, and some change. Takini still the only hit of the day for Henley. Here he drives one deep to center field. Garcia going back near the track, but he makes the catch for the second out in the third inning. So 2 gone now for Ian Meyer, who's 0 for 1 in the contest today. He flew out to center field to end the first inning. But the senior, who's typically all smiles, locked in, it's all business for Meyer. The rest of the Hornets here in the semifinals. Here's the pitch. Fouled back into the glove of the catcher. Counts 0-1. After Meyer in the Henley order, it's Derek Cox. The pitch from Goss is a curveball that finds the outside part of the zone, and Meyer is behind in the count, 0-2. Good pitch there from Goss. Started up near the hands of Meyer and then just broke back across the plate. This time Meyer takes one up near his hands. Good pitch location there for Goss That curveball and that fastball come out of the same tunnel, it looks like. Curveball breaks way off the side. That two-seam fastball jams him, but Meyer wisely laying off, stays alive for the 1-2 pitch. Now chops one over to third. On 2 hops, Mans plays it. Throw to first is not going to be in time as it bounces past Fletcher and nearly into the Henley dugout. But instead, Meyer will reach on the error. Charge it an E5, and it brings up Derek Cox. Trying to make Tillamook pay for the 2-out error. Here's Derek Cox. Was hit by a pitch his last time up. I'm sure he's sick and tired of being plunked. That's 3 times in the last 2 games. Cox will watch one miss upstairs there, and the count is 1-0. After Derek in the Henley order, it's Corbin Hamilton who waits on deck. Coach Teeters down the third base side delivers his signals to Derek and the runner at first, Ian Meyer. Here's the pitch to Cox. Swung on and missed. Back pick to try to get Meyer at first, but he dives back safely. And the count is even at a ball and a strike to Derek Cox. The sophomore for Henley played significant time last season, but has really carved himself out a great role this year. He continues to improve as he has from his freshman to his sophomore campaign. The sky's really the limit for a guy like Derek Cox. The 1-1, he takes it low. Good job by Maciel to knock that one down, not let it get by him. And the count is 2 balls and a strike to Derek Cox. We'll take a look at the numbers for Derek here in just a moment as he gets ready for the 2-1. Derek on the season batting .397 for the Hornets as he takes a pitch above the letters for strike 2. And count is even. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 runner on, bottom of the 3rd inning here at the state semifinal. Derek digs back in, move over to first, and they got Meyer leaning off the bag, and that'll do it. Here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning, we go to inning number 4, scoreless on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3, 960 Sports and mybasin.com for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a semifinal. Check the line score for each of these 2 teams through 3 innings. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Tillamook. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Henley through this point in the ball game. First pitch to Wrigley. Percy is fouled off to the right side, and the count is 0-1 as we get things started here in the top half of inning number 4. Corbin Hamilton still out there dealing for the Hornets. Got himself into a little bit of trouble in the 3rd inning with a runner in scoring position, but was able to escape it. Percy trying to get the first run across for either team here. He was nearly hit by a pitch, but instead the count will be even at a ball and a strike. We got timeout called. What are we talking about here? Are we asking if someone was hit by a pitch? I don't think the umpire said anyone was hit by a pitch. And so timeout was called by Jacoby. He went out to go have a discussion with Corbin once timeout was called by the batter. And now I think we're ready for baseball. It seemed as though the on-deck hitter, Chance Fletcher, wanted Percy to ask, and so that triggered the timeout call. Takini took advantage of it, had a quick chat with Hamilton, but now we're ready to go. The 1-1 pitch is looked at for strike 2, and Wrigley behind. A ball and 2 strikes in this at-bat. He struck out his first time up back in the 1st inning. Hamilton Here comes the 1-2. It is swung on and missed, and a strikeout to start the fourth inning for Corbin Hamilton. Back-to-back strikeouts dating back to the end of the third inning. And 4 for the ball game for Corbin, and it brings up Chance Fletcher, who's 0 for 1 today. Fletcher grounded out in the second inning. Here he bats with nobody on and 1 out. Hamilton kicks and delivers the pitch. That is called a strike on the outer third. The count is 0-1 to Fletcher. On deck after Chance Fletcher is the designated hitter, Tyler Larson. Here's the 0-1. That is a ground ball up the middle. Shively fields it in the gap, but loses it on the transfer. And Fletcher will reach on what will likely be ruled a single. That was a tough ball for Shively to get to, although they're calling it an error. Either way, that'll bring up Tyler Larson. Larson is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out back in the second inning. Not much of a lead for Fletcher off of first. Hamilton takes a look and is ready to deal to Tyler Larson, the lefty, for the Mook. He looks to lay down a bunt and does so, but it tails foul, and the count is 0-1. After Larson, in the Mook order, it's Josh Manns. Taking a look at Tyler Larson on the season, a .235 hitter for Tillamook. Here's the 0-1. Looks to lay down a bunt again. Pushes it to Cox down the third base side. Derrick up with it. Throw on to first is there. And a sacrifice bunt will move Fletcher into scoring position. Now there's 2 outs for Josh Manns. Manns struck out his first time up. That was back in the second inning. Trying to push across the first run of the ball game. We are still scoreless here in the fourth inning. By the way, it looks like they changed Fletcher's ability to reach on the error into a base hit. Just looked up at the scoreboard, and they ruled that a single. So I'll change it on my end, too. And the pitch is lined to left field, down the line, extra bases, and will score a run. Fletcher will score. Heading to second is Josh Manns. There will be no throw, and an RBI double gets the Cheesemakers on the board in the semifinal. An RBI double from Josh Manns makes it a 1-0 ball game here in the state semifinal. The Mook leading the Henley Hornets here, and someone's got a hit. Do we have an on-deck batter? Oh, taking his catcher gear off. It's Vincent Maciel. Maciel will be 1 for 1 today when he finally gets into the box. Manns aboard at second after the double. And all right, catcher's gear left in the dugout, and we are ready for an at-bat for Vincent Maciel. With 2 outs and a runner in scoring position in a 1-0 ball game that the Cheesemakers lead. Corbin Hamilton. It's the sign in from Jacoby Tacchini. He comes set. Pretty decent lead for Manns off of second. He leans back towards the bag as Hamilton checks him, but now the pitch in is called a strike, and it is 0-1 to Vincent Maciel. He's the number 9 hitter in the order for the Mook. We go back to the top next with Tristan Smith-Evans. 0-1, Hamilton set. Sims trying to keep the runner at second close. He returns to his position ahead of the 0-1 pitch. Here it comes from Hamilton. That one's looked at for strike 2. Good two-seam fastball started off the plate, but then broke back towards the right-handed hitter in Vincent Maciel, and the count is 0-2. Big lead this time for Manns off of second. Another step and a half than he was before. Hamilton takes a look. Sims trying to keep him close. He takes an extra half step back, and now the 0-2 home is looked at for strike 3, and that'll do it here in the fourth inning. But the Mook get 1 on 2 base hits. They leave 1 stranded, and they lead as we go to the bottom half of inning number 4 next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Derek Cox, Corbin Hamilton, Alex Smith do up this half inning for the Henley Hornets as they trail the Tillamook Cheesemakers 1-0 in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. One of two games being played today. Of course, the other between Marist and Scappoose. That game starting at 5 o'clock, so a little bit over an hour away yet. We'll do our best to get you score updates on that game as we move towards the end of our game and the beginning of that one, although I would recommend that you continue to look at OSAA.org, not only for results of that contest, but for results statewide. 6A all the way through 1A. All the championship games are played on Saturday this weekend, and the majority of the semifinal games are being played across the state today, too. But, of course, here in the 4A right now, the Cheesemakers are leading the Hornets 1-0. Derek Cox ready to step in now. The first pitch he looks at is called a strike. A good curveball that time from Jacoby Goss to get ahead 0-1. Derek had seen about 5 or 6 pitches before the end of the third inning before Ian Meyer was picked off of first. But now a fresh count, or at least an 0-1 count against Jacoby Goss as he looks at a 0-1 pitch that misses up. The count is even now at a ball and a strike. Maciel going to have to fix the catcher's gear, but he's ready to go, it seems. Count is even to the Henley third baseman, Derek Cox. And the pitch is going to miss upstairs. 2-1 the count. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but Tillamook trying to make their first state championship in school history. For the Hornets, they are trying to make it back for a state most 14th time. As that pitch misses upstairs, count is 3-1 to Derek Cox. There we go. And Derek settling back in ahead of the 3-1. That one misses low, and Derek will work a walk. Tying run on base here for Corbin Hamilton and the Henley Hornets. And still nobody out to lead off the bottom of this fourth inning. Corbin Hamilton struck out his first time up, is 0 for 1 on the day. And after giving up an earned run in the top half of this inning, would love to get it back here, or at least move Cox into scoring position if he can. Alex Smith is due up next for the Hornets. Hamilton is showing bunt. He lays it down the third base side. Up with it is Mans. The throw to first is going to be in time, but he does his job as Derek advances to scoring position. Hamilton lays down the sacrifice bunt, and in steps Alex Smith. One out in the inning for Alex as he walked and was left stranded in scoring position his first time around. Alex Smith on the season is batting .286 for the Hornets. Again, a smaller sample size for him, only playing in his 8th varsity contest, but he's been a vital part of this team down the stretch, trying to come up with an RBI hit here to tie the ball game in this semifinal. The pitch goes straight back to the netting, and that's going to allow Derek Cox to advance to third base, and it also messed with our camera shot just a little bit. We'll get that changed and fixed for you in just a moment as the count is 1-0 to Alex Smith. Here's the 1-0 to Smith. That one is also going to miss upstairs, maybe a touch inside as well. The count is 2-0. To the Henley right fielder. You can hear the F-35s overhead potentially. Here's the 2-0. Smith, kind of an excuse me swing there. Probably wanted that one back. The count is 2-1. One of the very cool things about here in the Klamath Basin, for those Tillamook fans who didn't travel, F-35's been flying all overhead. We've got Kingsley Airfield right here in the basin. The 2-1. Smith chases upstairs, 2-2. Smith getting ready to settle back in. Head of the 2-2 pitch. Max Price is on deck. Here's the pitch. It is going to miss wide. And the count is 3-2. Runner on third, one out. The Tillamook infield playing in, trying to disallow Cox from tying the ball game. The 3-2 misses up. Smith walks. Runners at the corners for Max Price. Price walked his first time up, was left stranded at first base in the second inning. But a chance here for Maxie to come up at a big spot. The junior missed a good chunk of the season. Was used primarily as a courtesy runner in for Henley's catcher when it was necessary. But we also have seen him make a return to the starting lineup these last couple of games after dealing with an elbow injury. He started coming back in as a designated hitter. He got his first defensive start back on Saturday in the quarterfinals against Pendleton, and is now back in the defensive starting lineup today in center field in the semifinal. A move over to first, and they get Smith. A fake pickoff attempt to third. Smith was then caught leaning at first. They turn around and they got him, and now there's 2 outs in the inning, and Max Price still with a runner on third and 2 outs and a fresh count to him. A base hit still ties the ball game, and that's a backbreaker there for the Hornets at first. Second time they've been picked off of first today as the first pitch misses in. 1-0. We've talked all season long about Henley's ability to run the bases with confidence and well. This is the first time I've seen him get picked off twice in a single game yet this year. And here we are in the bottom of the fourth inning, trailing by a run. Good move, though, by Goss. I noted that in the first inning that he could be trouble. And, well, like I said, 2 pickoffs already here through 3 and some change, as it's a swing and a miss on the pitch to Price. The count is even. A curveball that drifted towards the outside part against the right-hander. After Max Price in the Henley order, it's Ryan Douglas. Here's the 1-1 from Jacoby Goss. It is hit foul off to the right side, and the count is 1-2. Price digging back in. Big spot for Henley. They've got runners into scoring position a couple of times today, haven't been able to do anything with it. Goss delivers the 2-strike pitch. It is hit into the air in foul territory right behind us. Look out. There we go. That landed probably 5 feet from me behind home plate. Count is 1-2. So Price sticks around to see at least one more, as the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Widens out the stance, wants to shorten the motion in the swing. A big pitch coming up from Jacoby Goss. Here it is, a curveball and a ground ball, a chance for the shortstop. Hurleyman up with it. The throw on to first is in time, and that'll do it in the bottom of the fourth inning. The Hornets get a runner to third, but they leave him stranded, and they trail 1-0 as we go to the fifth next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, and or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Getting set now for the top half of inning number 5 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal on 104.3 and 960 Sports and on MyBasin.com. It's a 1-0 lead for the Mook here in the semifinal against the Henley Hornets. Top of the order due up for the Cheesemakers of Tillamook. as Tristan Smith-Evans waves and misses at the first pitch curveball there from Hamilton, and the count is 0-1. It's Smith-Evans, Garcia, and Goss due up this half inning for Tillamook. The 0-1 pitch flared foul. The count is 0-2. The Cheesemakers scored their one run in the top half of inning number 4 on an RBI double from Josh Manns. It's been the only offense of the day for either team. Hamilton working ahead of Smith-Evans, 0-2 in the count. He kicks and delivers, and a bouncer out towards Sims at second. He's up with it. The throw to first will be in time, 4-3 in the book, and there's one gone in the 5th inning. Brings up Aiden Garcia, who's 0 for 2 today. Garcia grounded out in the first inning, and he also flew out in the 3rd. Now bats with one gone in the top half of the 5th inning of a 1-0 ball game that his Cheesemakers lead in the state semifinal. What a story it would be for the Cheesemakers if they can hang on to this advantage, as the first pitch called a strike from Hamilton. 0-1, a team which had to change head coaches partway through the year. 5 games into the season, their former head coach stepped down, and Coach Moncrief has stepped up and really turned this ball club into a real winner. You know, they put together a winning season last year, made the playoffs for the first year in a number of years, had 15 wins a season ago, were first-round exits. The 1-1 pitch is hit high to the air, shallow right field. Looks playable for Ian Meyer, but Sims will call him off at second base and tuck that one away for the out. 2 gone in the inning. And through those first 4 or 5 games in which the previous head coach was still with the team, they were, I believe, 1-3, 1-4, and since then went on a great streak. They finished 17-10, or they're 17-10 coming into today, including winners of their last 6 consecutive ball games heading into the postseason. So this team is red hot, even if they are a 12 seed in here, obviously in front of the number 1 team in the state. First pitch swinging for Jacoby Goss. A towering fly ball to center field. Winds up safely into the glove of Max Price, and the Mook down in order in the top half of the 5th inning, but they lead 1-0 as we go to the bottom half of the 5th next at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal on MyBasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home, I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Ryan Douglas, Connor Shively, and Carson Sims do up this half inning for the Hornets. Bottom half of inning number 5 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal. Broadcasted to you live today on MyBasin.com and 104.3 and 960 Sports. My name is Josh Eldridge. Thank you so much for joining us today. I want to give a big shout to the Henley Booster Club here locally in the Basin for helping us keep this broadcast free for you today. This time of year, the OSAA requires us to pay a rights fee to cover their playoff broadcasts, but the Henley Booster Club allows us to keep this for you for free today and helps us with that fee. So this broadcast to you brought nearly entirely by the Henley Booster Club. As Ryan Douglas takes strike 1 over the heart of the plate as he falls behind Jacoby Goss, working hard for the Mook here in this semifinal. As that pitch is fouled back and the count is 0-2 to Ryan Douglas. And again, Connor Shively is on deck. It's a 1-0 game that the Mook leads the Henley Hornets. Goss working quickly. The 0-2 curveball misses up, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. He's been hitting his locations well today, creating a lot of weak contact. Only 2 strikeouts so far in the game, but here's another one. A grounder to short. It's underneath the glove of Hurleyman and into left field. Douglas turns around first, thought about going to second. Now he's got to dive back into first safely, but he does. Lead off base runner for the Hornets in the bottom half of inning number 5. That one will more than likely go into the book as a Cheesemaker error as Douglas reaches base there. And it brings up the top of the order in Connor Shively. And there it is. The error goes up on the board. Second of the day for the Mook. And here is Connor Shively. Tying run aboard here in the bottom half of inning number 5. Shively looking to show bunt. He lays one down in front of the pitcher. Goss is up with it. The throw to first is in time. But they have Douglas advanced into scoring position for Carson Sims. Sims today is 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout in the first and third innings. But Sims, who's towards the top of the team in RBIs, trying to add one of the most important ones of the season so far. Sims this year, a 392 hitter on the season, and he's got 31 RBIs, second most on the team in that metric. First pitch, swing and a miss. Sims falls behind here. The count is 0-1. A firm fastball on the outer third from Jacoby Goss. And Sims falls behind. After Carson in the order is Jacoby Tacchini. Douglas, after reaching on an error, a decent lead off of second. Goss clocks in. The shortstop Hurleyman trying to keep Douglas close. As the pitch into Sims dips below the zone and away. The count is even at a ball and a strike. One out in the inning. Runner at second is Ryan Douglas. Sims wide in the stance. Awaits the 1-1. Goss taking a look at Douglas. Will step off. Are we going to have a balk? And there you go. Douglas is going to advance to third. They're going to say Goss balked before stepping off. A shift of the shoulders, and Douglas is advancing to third. Count at the plate is still 1-1. And we're going to see Coach Moncrief come out and ask for clarification on the balk. And going to see exactly, I don't think anything's going to change. I don't think I've ever seen a balk overturned. And it's umpire's discretion on what is a balk. So, conversation with the umpire's not going to yield much. If anything, what the exact infraction was, maybe. I think they're just going to say that Goss had shifted his body before stepping off entirely. And so there it is. That's what they're saying. They're saying he can't lean in or move the glove before the pitch. And so now there's one out and a runner at third for Carson Sims. The infield for the Mook is coming in. They're going to try to cut down the lead run on a ground ball, but Sims lifts one into the air, foul, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. This is the third inning that Henley has got a runner to third, and it's time to start converting on this one. As you get later and later into the ball game, got to find that first run to come across. Sims in a 1-2 count. One out. Runner at third. The pitch misses up. 2-2. Carson, the junior for the Hornets, second-year varsity player for Henley. Here's the 2-2. Sims hits one sky high right side, out of play, foul. And he'll get at least another. 2 balls and 2 strikes, the count to Carson Sims. Back on the hill is Goss. Ready to throw. Maciel sets the target. The pitch to Sims is fouled off. That was a pitch that was outside of the zone, but Sims in a 2-strike count, having to battle, having to protect anything close. But Goss, who's been good at mixing up speeds and locations today, even in an even count, feels like he's ahead. The 2-2 is again sliced foul to the right side. A battle brewing here between Sims and Goss. Tying run at third base, bottom of the 5th inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. Sims a deep breath before digging back into the right-handed batter's box. Settles in, and again, the 2-2 is looked at for strike 3. Sims taking one letter high on the inside corner, and now there's 2 gone with a runner at third in the 5th inning. Brings up Jacoby Tacchini. 1 for 2 today. He's got to pick up his teammates here after a leadoff base runner and a balk. The Hornets were effectively gifted this runner at third base. They've got to make the Cheesemakers pay for it here with Jacoby Tacchini at the plate. The team leader in RBI with 32 on the season. And they're going to intentionally walk him here to bring up Ian Meyer. So runners at the corners for Ian Meyer, the senior, trying to get across the game's tying run in the semifinal. We're going to have a courtesy runner come in. Porter Frost aboard at first with 2 outs and runners at the corners. And we need some baseballs, looks like. Coach Pete Whistler up and out of the dugout. Two outs, runners at the corners. We'll see if the Hornets have got anything going on with Frost aboard at first, although with how Tillamook has handled base runners today, unlikely, as Ian takes a big hack and a miss at the first pitch in this at-bat, falls behind 0-1. Douglas is at third with Frost at first. 2 outs in the inning and a 1-0 ball game, bottom half of inning number 5 at the state semifinal. Move over to first. Back safely is Porter Frost. He's hardly got a lead to speak of over there, being ultra-conservative down at the first base side. And, well, like I said, at this point, when you've been picked off over there twice, not Porter specifically, but the Hornets as a team, you tend to be a bit more conservative over there. The pitch to Myers, swung on and missed on the breaking pitch, and they are going to allow Porter Frost to advance to second. And there is now 2 men in scoring position for Ian Meyer to 2-strike count. Here's the 2-strike pitch to Meyer. Fly ball right side. Moving over is Fletcher into foul territory. The catch is not made in right field by Troxel. Went sliding into the fence, but was unable to bring it in cleanly. A good effort by the right fielder Troxel, but instead Meyer will be gifted another chance in an 0-2 count. Go ahead run in scoring position. Tying run on third. 2 outs, bottom of the 5th in the state semifinal. Goss way ahead here again. The count is 0-2. Meyer chokes up. Here's the pitch. Meyer checks his swing on a pitch that dips below the zone. Good eye there for E, and the count is 1-2. Goss trying to get him to chase there. Could be setting up something high in the zone, though, on a curveball low. Meyer going to have to protect. The 1-2. Hit into the air, right side. Troxel, the right fielder, back. He will make the catch and end the inning. The Hornets get 2 men on into scoring position, but they leave them both there, and it's a 1-0 ball game as we go to the top half of inning number 6 next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
Hi, I'm Jill with Klamath Falls Honda. If you live in Southern Oregon, you know the weather can keep you guessing. 1 minute it can be sunny, and the next something like this. That's why vehicles like the Honda Ridgeline just make sense. With available all-wheel drive and the capability to handle whatever rolls in, you're ready for it. And customers like Rob are ready too.
Couldn't have picked a better day.
So whether it's sunshine or snow, stop by and say hi. We'll keep you safe on the road.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Getting set now for the 6th inning at Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School. The OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. For Tillamook, 1 run on 5 hits, 2 errors for the Cheesemakers. They've left 5 runners on base. No runs, 1 hit, no errors for Henley. They've left 8 runners on base so far in the ball game as Hamilton gets a swing and a miss from Kevin Hurleyman to start this 6th inning. The count is 0-1. Hamilton delivers the 0-1 to Hurleyman, and it's hit in the air, right side. Coming in is Smith. That's going to be a tough one to get to, and it is down for a base hit. And a leadoff single for Kevin Hurleyman brings up Wrigley Percy. Percy is 0 for 2 today. He has struck out a pair of times, once in the first and once in the fourth. And we are going to have a courtesy runner, it looks like, come in for Hurleyman. It's going to be number 19, Damian Kaiser. So Kaiser aborted first now for Percy at the dish. Nobody out as the Cheesemakers look to add a little bit of insurance here in the top half of inning number 6 at the semifinals. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. That's a liner right back to Hamilton off of his foot. It ricochets to Meyer. He dives and tags the bag for one, but we got to check on Corbin now. That hit him right in the ankle. Advancing to second on the play was Kaiser. There's one out in the inning, but now we want to make sure Corbin is okay. He's taken a couple of laps around the hill. He's going to want to stay in the game, I can tell you that much, but it might not be up to him. That one hit him square in the foot. And it looks like it was his drive foot as well. So that's going to be the one that's providing a lot of his power to throw that fastball that he needs to throw so well to try to get himself out of what's now one out with a runner in scoring position. As Hamilton tries to walk this one off, we'll remind you that today's broadcast on mybasin.com is brought to you in part by the Henley Booster Club, as they've covered our rights fee to be able to keep this broadcast free for everyone watching around the state, up in Tillamook and here in the Klamath Basin. Big thanks to the Henley Booster Club for supporting our broadcast today on mybasin.com. Also want to give a shout out to folks from Geno's on East Main Street celebrating their 40th anniversary. They're open every single morning at 6:30, serving up those famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like Italian favorites, monthly specials, burgers, all the great stuff down there at Geno's on East Main Street. You can order online at ilovegenos.com or have it brought to you with DoorDash. Hamilton's going to get some warm-up tosses in now after being hit by that line drive. He throws one. He says he's okay. All right. Ready to play ball. Corbin Hamilton's going to stick around in this one. Reset the situation for you. 1-0 our score. We're in the top half of inning number 6 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal between the Tillamook Cheesemakers, who lead the Henley Hornets here in the Klamath Basin, a score of 1-0. With one out in the 6th, it is Damian Kaiser at second base and Chance Fletcher at the plate. Fletcher singled and scored his last time up. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. That one is in the dirt. Takini, a good job of knocking that one down. And the count is 1-0. Fletcher, along with a single from back in the 4th inning, also grounded out in the 2nd. Hamilton set with the pitch. Kaiser takes a lead off his second. The delivery home is looked at for strike one. An off-speed pitch graces the outer third from Hamilton, and the count is even. After Fletcher in the order for the Mook, it's Tyler Larson. Hamilton set with the 1-1. And the pitch. That one is going to miss low, below the knees to Fletcher. The count is 2-1. Aggression at second from Damian Kaiser. He takes a really aggressive secondary lead against the Hornets. Wouldn't be surprised if maybe he tries to take off for third, or if Takini tries to back pick him. The 2-1. Gonna miss up. 3-1. Wonder if the Hornets start to get someone up and moving in the bullpen. Hamilton showing some frustration out there, and although you want to keep a short memory in a semifinal game, the leash just gets short this time of year. We'll see how long Hamilton sticks around in this one. The 3-1 is fouled off to the right side, and the count is full, 3-2. Corbin gonna have to dig deep in a 3-2 count with a runner in scoring position in Damian Kaiser. His team trails by a run in the semifinal. Hamilton doesn't like the first offering from Takini. He's agreeable for the second showing. Now the 3-2. It is fouled straight back, and the count will remain 3-2 to Chance Fletcher. Full count offering again from Hamilton. And the pitch is hit to the right side, through and into right field. They are going to hold up Kaiser at third. Runners at the corners now with one out for Tyler Larson. 2 for 3 day now, by the way, for Chance Fletcher, as that single adds to a good day for him. Sixth hit of the day for Tillamook, and like I said, runners at the corners and only one out. Got a meeting on the mound here for the Henley Hornets and Coach Craig Connor. Could be close to decision time for the Hornets, as they might be looking to a new arm shortly, although they're going to keep Hamilton in for right now. Tyler Larson is 0 for 2 today. A couple of ground outs for him. Going to try to roll a pair here for the Hornets with Larson, the designated hitter, batting now. We'll see also if Tillamook has something going on at first to try to avoid a double play with Fletcher on. Big spot here, biggest of the ball game. Top of the sixth inning, 2 on, 1 out. Corbin Hamilton comes set to Larson, and the pitch is called a strike, letter high, dead center, 0-1 the count. Josh Manns is on deck for the Mook. He came up with an RBI double his last time around. Middle infield looking for a double play. Modest lead off of first for Fletcher, not much to speak of there. The 0-1 home is swung on and missed. Larson well late on that fastball. And Hamilton trying to dig deep here. A strikeout would go a long way in keeping this a one-run ball game. Jacoby Tacchini comes out from behind home plate, issues his infield a new set of signals as they get ready for a 2-strike offering to Tyler Larson. Hamilton takes a look at the runner at first, Fletcher, before coming set. Now is together for the 0-2. Kicks and delivers. A bouncer in front of home plate is a foul ball. And so we will do it again in an 0-2 count. Tacchini would have made the throw to first in time had it been a fair ball, but a good job by our home plate umpire all over that one. And the count will remain 0-2 to Tyler Larson. Larson with the bat above his head here, batting from the left side against the righty Corbin Hamilton. The 0-2 is flared foul off to the left side, and we'll do it again in an 0-2 count. Larson, a junior, listed also as a pitcher here for the Mook, but today the designated hitter in batting for the right fielder Troxel. The 0-2 from Corbin Hamilton. It is a slider swung on and missed, and there's 2 outs in the 6th inning. Josh Manns stepping in now, and for the Mook, he's been the contributor for all the offense today. He's 1 for 2, although he struck out in the 2nd inning. An RBI double in the 4th gave Tillamook their 1-run lead. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. First pitch looking at strike 1. A knee-high fastball catches the outside corner, and Hamilton uses it to get ahead. If the inning continues, it's Vincent Maciel on deck for the Mook. Hamilton set with the 0-1. And the pitch. Swung on and missed the elevated fastball, and the count is 0-2. Hamilton 1 strike away from getting out of this jam. Runner at third is Damian Kaiser. At first is Chance Fletcher. 2 outs in the inning, 2 strikes on Josh Manns. Tacchini gets the signal in from Coach Craig Connor in the dugout. The Cheesemaker fans trying to will on Joshua Manns. Here's the 0-2 from Hamilton. Runner on the move, swung on and missed, and Hamilton leaves him stranded in the 6th. It's still a 1-run lead for Tillamook as we go to the bottom half next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and MyBasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
Bottom half of inning number 6 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. As the Henley Hornets trail the Tillamook Cheesemakers a score of 1-0. Due up this half for Henley, Derek Cox, Corbin Hamilton, and Alex Smith. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the Henley order against Jacoby Goss, who has been dominant today. There's really no two ways to put it. He's pitched a great game for the Cheesemakers so far today. We'll give you a check on the line score for him here in just a moment as he gets ready to face Derek Cox for the third time today. Derek, for his part, has reached base a pair of times today, although without a base hit. He was hit by a pitch in the second, and he walked in the fourth. Here is the first offering from Jacoby Goss. It is going to miss, low and away, and the count is 1-0. Goss today through 5 innings has allowed just 1 hit. He's walked 5 and he's struck out 4. Pitch misses up, 2-0. Henley through 5 innings left 8 runners on base, still looking for their first run. Here's the pitch. Cox watches one miss up, 3-0. Way ahead in the count here is Derek Cox. He can afford to be choosy, I suppose is what I meant to say. The 3-0, he watches that one go by, didn't like it. He gets to see a few more here. Still ahead in the count, 3-1 is Derek Cox. The starting third baseman today for Henley digs in, batting from the right side, hands steady. Here's the 3-1. Watches that one miss up, and Cox walks for the second time today. Tying run on, go ahead run at the plate for Corbin Hamilton. And for Corbin, a chance to trying to represent the go-ahead run. He's the starting pitcher today, gave up an earned run in the 4th inning. He was hit by a comeback or line drive in the last half inning, but was able to buckle down and with a man in scoring position recorded back-to-back strikeouts to keep this game just a single 1-run deficit. As he takes a look at a pitch that misses wide there, the count is 1-0. As Goss has come out here in the 6th inning, struggling to find the strike zone a little bit. We'll see if the Hornets can take advantage of these hitters' counts that they're getting into in the 6th inning. The pitch from Hamilton, or to Hamilton, I suppose, misses up, and it's 2-0. That one was just above the letters, center of the plate. Sometimes those fastballs can be tough to lay off for a hitter like Hamilton, but wisely laying off that one is the junior. Hamilton, an accomplished baseball player, not only at the high school level with multiple all-conference selections, one of only 2 players in Oregon State history to win an MVP at the Alaska Midseason Classic in Anchorage, in which the Falcons played last year, the Klamath Falls Falcons American Legion team. Corbin Hamilton was the MVP of that tournament, only the 2nd player in the state of Oregon history to ever win tournament MVP at that event. As he takes a look at the 2-0 pitch, catches the outside corner, 2-1. The other, another Klamath Falls baseball player, Brian Kinsman, former Falcon, was the other Oregon player to win MVP at that event. Joined here by Corbin Hamilton, although all those accomplishments mean moot if he can't get on base here in the semifinal and try to move Derek into scoring position. His team down a run in the state semifinal as they take a look over at Cox at first, but he dives back safely. Not much of a lead off of first. Like I said, Henley forced to be conservative after being picked off already twice today. Hamilton drives one to center field, although it looks playable for Garcia. Gets under it, and he makes the catch. One gone in the 6th. Here is Alex Smith, the sophomore, stepping in now for the Hornets. Smith has walked a pair of times today, but we'll see if they have him try to move Cox into scoring position, or if they allow Alex to swing away. The corners for Tillamook going to play in. Mann's on the cut of the grass, and Fletcher will be. He's tasked with holding the runner at first in the meantime, but as he shuffles off the bag for the first pitch, he will be playing in on the cut of the grass in front of the runner to protect a bunt for Alex Smith. Here's the pitch from Goss. Smith takes a look at one, an off-speed pitch, catches the outer third. He falls behind here 0-1. After Alex Smith in the order, it's Max Price. The Hornets have had at least one base runner in every single inning of the ball game so far. Move over, Cox back safely. They had one in the first, had the bases loaded in the second, had a runner on in the third, 2 on in the fourth, 2 on in the fifth, and here a runner on in the sixth, representing the tying run as Derek Cox over at first. The 0-1. Smith takes a look at a fastball right down Main Street for the second strike. Wishes he could probably have that one back. It was a great pitch to hit here, but Smith now forced to protect in an 0-2. For a guy in Goss who's been good today, he's mixed up those speeds and locations. He can go just about anywhere he wants here in a 2-strike count. The pitch to Smith is an off-speed pitch, swung on and missed, and that'll be the second out here in the sixth inning. And now it is Max Price due up for the Hornets. Price without a hit today, although he did walk in the second, and he grounded out in the fourth. And we've got Jacoby Goss's pitching coach coming out to take the ball from him, as what is likely for pitch count reasons, as Tillamook prepares for a potential championship game on Saturday. If they're able to hold on to a lead here against Henley, Goss will check out and we'll get a new pitcher in. We're going to step aside for 60 seconds, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to the new arm for Tillamook as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Over the last year, you've heard and seen the advertisement for God's Gifts 2, a local photographer who travels to high school sporting events and takes individual and team action photos at a great price. Something you may not know, though, is that the money from God's Gifts Photography supports 6 children in Kenya who Annalisa has met on mission trips. If you'd like to capture your athlete in action and help support these kids, call 541-281-2206. Search God's Gifts 2 on Facebook.
Josh Eldridge back with you for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal today on MyBasin.com in 104.3 and 960 Sports. Wrigley Percy, the new man on the hill for the Tillamook Cheesemakers. Taking a look at the season for him, only 15 innings pitched this year. Oh, pardon me, that's his league record. Pardon me. For the season, 33 1/3 innings pitched. He's 3-2 with an ERA of 1.26. Entering play today with 2 outs and a runner on, in steps Max Price. First pitch on the way from Percy is lifted foul off to the right side. The count is 0-1. Trying to find out who replaced Percy out there at second base, as that's where he came in from. Don't know if it was Goss who stays out there. I think it might be. No, Hurleyman moved over to Hurleyman moved over there. Now at second, as the count is a ball and a strike. Let's see. Goss moved to short, Hurleyman to second are the changes for the Cheesemakers here in the 6th inning. The 1-1 on the way to Max Price is going to dip away 2-1. By the way, for the final line score for Jacoby Goss, can't quite close the book on him yet since he is responsible for Derek Cox, the runner at first. Should he come in to score, that earned run would go against Jacoby Goss. But first, they got to get him there as Max Price gets ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. After that, pitch misses low and in the dirt. Price today walked in the second. He grounded out in the 4th. And a chance to try to get on base with Ryan Douglas on deck. The Hornets trail by a run, bottom of the 6th inning. That pitch misses up, and Price is aboard, moving Cox into scoring position, and here's Ryan Douglas. Douglas is 0 for 2 today. He struck out in the second, and he reached on an error in the fifth. Trying to reach base here, put a ball in play, and try to make something happen. The Hornets have knocked on the door of runs a couple of times. Like I said, they've left runners in scoring position in the second, fourth, and fifth innings. And they've got a chance at runs here in the sixth. Maciel goes out and chats with Wrigley Percy, man on the mound for the Mook. They need one out to try to get out of this sixth inning. Ryan Douglas at the plate. Good lead off of first for Price. Off of second, Cox a bit more conservative. First pitch popped foul. The count is 0-1. Douglas about a .250 hitter coming into play today. Rhino, a senior for the Hornets this year. Trying to make this at-bat matter. Set on the hill is Percy. The pitch to Douglas, a curveball called a strike. And Douglas, with his back against the wall, going to have to get defensive up there in a 2-strike count in a 1-run ball game with the go-ahead run on first. Looking in is Percy. Set on the hill. The pitch to Douglas, in the dirt, ball 1. Good eye there by Rhino, not trying to chase out of the zone there, showing composure in the right-handed batter's box. And now gets a second look, or I suppose a fourth look in this at-bat against Wrigley Percy. Percy shakes off Maciel, the first offering, shakes him off again. Maciel cycling through the signs here, finds one that Percy likes as he comes set. Now the 1-2 is swung on and missed, and that'll get him out of the sixth inning as the Hornets leave a pair stranded again as they trail by a run as we head to the seventh inning at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal on mybasin.com.
Looking for insurance from someone who truly understands rural Klamath? Meet Gabby Haskins, a licensed agent for Country Financial, born and raised in Merrill, with deep roots in agriculture and the local way of life. Whether you're protecting your family farm, homes, vehicles, businesses, Gabby's here to help. She offers trusted, personalized insurance for farm, life, home, auto, commercial, and retirement needs at Gary Sheen's Country Financial office in Merrill. Stop by today and see why Merrill residents trust one of their own. Country Financial, here to help you experience more in Merrill.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Josh Eldridge back with you here live from beautiful Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School for the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. It's a 1-0 ball game. The Tillamook Cheesemakers lead the Henley Hornets as we get set for the seventh inning. Corbin Hamilton still out there working for the Hornets. It'll be 9-1-2 in the Mook order. Vincent Maciel, Tristan Smith-Evans, and Aiden Garcia as we get set for the top half of inning number 7. First pitch called a ball, misses below the knees, and the count is 1-0 to Vincent Maciel. He's 1 for 2 today. He singled in the third and struck out in the fourth. Here's the 1-0 from Hamilton. A two-seam fastball jammed up Maciel, and the count's even at a ball and a strike. Hamilton with a 1-1. That one's going to miss low, 2-1. Corbin's task here, keep it a one-run game and try to make it quick as well. Due up next half inning for Henley will be the top of their order. Here's the 2-1 from Hamilton. That one came in and hit Maciel, and a leadoff base runner for Tillamook in the 7th. And it brings up Tristan Smith-Evans, top of the order, due up now for Tillamook. And it looks like we're also going to see a courtesy runner come in as well. Let's see, Lakota Navarre coming in to run for Maciel for the second time today. So Navarre on, and here is Smith-Evans. 0 for 3 today is Tristan Smith-Evans. He is grounded out all 3 times. We'll see what they decide to do here, as that insurance run matters so much for Tillamook. We'll see if Smith Evans winds up laying down a bunt here. Cox plays in the corner. Meyer will play in as well after holding the runner at first. And the pitch in from Hamilton. They show bunt. It's a roller out to Corbin on the mound. He's up with it. The throw to first is going to be in time. And advancing to second is Navarre. One out, runner in scoring position after the sacrifice, and it brings up Aiden Garcia. So here is Garcia, and we're going to have a chat here called by the home plate umpire. It was a close play at first. That's the only thing I could imagine them having a discussion about. You rarely see a home plate umpire call a meeting just to overturn a call, but I don't imagine what else it would be. And let's see. Are we all good? Okay. Nothing is changing. We still got one out. We still got a runner in scoring position in Vincent Maciel. Navarre is his courtesy runner. Apologies there. It is Lakota Navarre at second. And Aiden Garcia at the plate. For Garcia today, 0 for 3. He grounded out in the first and has flown out in the third and fifth innings. But a chance to add some insurance here in the top half of inning number 7 against the Henley Hornets. Hamilton set on the hill, and he motions home. The first pitch, a slider, catches the outer third up near the letters, and the count is 0-1 to Aiden Garcia. The junior outfielder for the Cheesemakers settles back in and awaits the 0-1 here from Corbin Hamilton. Takini sets the target, and Hamilton delivers. The pitch is going to miss below the knees, maybe a touch outside as well. Count is even to Garcia with Jacoby Goss on deck for the Mook. Hamilton ready to deliver the 1-1. And here it comes. It is in the dirt. Takini, a fine job of knocking it down, not allowing it to get by him. And a strike. Was that a foul ball in the dirt? It must have been. Or was it a check swing? Regardless, called a strike at the plate. Counts 1-2 to Garcia. Hamilton trying to put him away here. Comes set with the pitch. Checks the runner at second, Navarre. Now motions home. It is swung on and missed. A big K there for Hamilton. Garcia goes down. There's 2 outs in the inning. Jacoby Goss getting ready to step in now. And we got timeout. What are they going to intentionally walk Goss? Okay. No timeout. They intentionally walk Goss. Forced at every base for Kevin Hurleyman. So Navarre at second, Goss at first. A huge lead for Goss as well off of first. And in steps Kevin Hurleyman. Hurleyman 2 for 3 today. Couple of singles in the first and sixth innings. Steps in against Corbin Hamilton in a huge spot. The pitch is a grounder out to Shively at short. Up with it. The throw on to first is in time, and that'll get him out of the inning. The Hornets need 1 to tie, 2 to win in the semifinal as we go to the 7th inning next at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union for a baseball state championship tournament on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3 and 960 Sports and MyBasin.com as we continue your coverage of the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. In the bottom of the seventh inning, the Tillamook Cheesemakers lead 1-0. They are 3 outs away from making their first ever appearance in the state championship game in school history. The Hornets trying to change that with Connor Shively, Carson Sims, and Jacoby Tacchini due up. This is what you play for, a 1-run deficit, bottom of the seventh inning, and the top of your order due up. So far today for the Hornets, only 1 hit, and it came all the way back in the first inning. They've gotten base runners throughout the day. In fact, in every single inning, they've gotten at least 1 on, but they've left stranded 10 runners today. Still looking for their first run, and they need to find it here or the season's over. Shively gets ahead, 1-0 in the count. Shively 0 for 3 today. Fly out in the first and the second and ground out in the third. Shively takes a pitch for a strike there. Looked to be a slider. Started off the plate to the lefty, but then broke back across the zone out of the right hand of Wrigley Percy. The count is even, a ball and a strike to Shively. Percy works out of the windup. The pitch to Shively is an elevated fastball, swung on and missed. And there's 2 strikes now on Shively. Shively digging back into the left-handed batter's box. Here's the offering from Percy. That curveball slipped out of his hand and wound up in the other batter's box, and the count is 2-2. Shively, the team captain, trying to set the table for his squad. The 2-2, fouled off, will do it again, 2-2. Connor, an all-conference player all 4 years, and although we haven't gotten the official designation yet for his senior season, you can only assume. But just a man who needs to get on base here in the state semifinal. The 2-2, a curveball misses wide, and the count's full, 3-2. The senior, Connor Shively, in a full count to lead off the bottom of the seventh inning. Here's the pitch. Shively rolls over one to the right side. Up with it is the first baseman. The throw to first is not in time. Shively beats out the infield single. Fletcher gloved it, but Percy lost the foot race to the bag, and hustle there for Shively. Tying run on, and in steps Carson Sims. And Coach Moncrief up and out of the dugout. He wants to discuss this. It was a close play at first. It looked to me like Shively had him beat, but of course I'm behind home plate, and I don't expect anybody to trust me on this. Of course, it is a big point, and I won't hide my bias. I hope Shively's aboard at first, but we'll see. Umpires discussing things. This is a big call to make. And you'd think the call on the field would stand. If it's overturned here, you're going to see the home side of this place erupt in boos if this gets overturned. We're going to see. They're still discussing it. And now we've got third base umpire going over to chat with the head coach. We've got the coaches up and out of the dugout for Henley, too. This play, the tying run would be on base if this play stands. We're still discussing it. The umpires are backing away from each other. And let's see. We've got Percy arguing his case on the mound with the umpires there, saying he won the foot race. Coach Moncrief is still talking with the umpires down the third base side. And I just don't know what there is left to talk about if we're talking about safe or out. The only thing I could imagine is... Oh, the shortstop got ejected. Oh. Well, that's unique. Okay, that's news to me. As Goss, well, he's still out there. Was it the pitcher got ejected? Gotcha. Goss is ejected, but he's still out there. 12. Oh, Hurleyman. There we go. I was looking at shortstop still. Okay, so Hurleyman has moved over back to short. They got a new second baseman in there, and it is going to be Navarre. And so that is what's going on. Okay, so Navarre there, Hurleyman back to short, and Percy still on the hill. Okay, so we sorted it all out. I couldn't quite understand what the ejection was for, but I suppose in the semifinals, wouldn't quite be a trip without an ejection being seen, I suppose. If you recall last year, Hornets fans might recall that one. Runner aboard at first, and here we go with Carson Sims. Tying run aboard. Nobody out. Sims in at the plate. He's 0 for 3 today. Trying to come up in a big spot. Sims shows bunt. Lays one down the third base side. Up within his man's. The throw to first is going to be in time. Fletcher a nice stretch over there at first to record the out, but Sims doing his job. Tying run into scoring position. 1 out for Jacoby Tacchini. Tacchini has reached base a pair of times today. By the way, want to get it known that if Goss, he was ejected, if Tillamook hangs on and advances to the state championship game, he's unavailable for the championships game. So Goss, as a senior, just ended his own season one way or another. Unfortunate turn of events for him, but again, we've seen it happen before. They walk Tacchini. Go ahead, run on. Here's Ian Meyer. Porter Frost aboard at first. Connor Shively in at second. Ian Myers 0 for 3 today. Here's the pitch from Percy. Called a strike. Nice off-speed pitch on the inside corner for Percy to get ahead of Meyer. After Meyer in the order, it's Derek Cox. Good speed at first for Porter Frost as well. Meyer up in the box. Here's the 0-1. Grounder up the middle. This could do it. On to second for 1. On to first. It takes the runner off the bag. Shively's going to come in to score. Tie ball game. Meyer into second. An error extends the season, and the Hornets are not going home yet. A routine ball for the new second baseman. And it was a throwing error down the line, and a run comes in to score. We are all tied up at 1 in the bottom of the 7th inning, and a runner in scoring position for Derek Cox could send the fans home happy. They're going to walk Derek Cox, and it brings up Corbin Hamilton. An intentional walk brings up Corbin Hamilton. And now we're going to see a meeting at the mound for Coach Moncrief. This is where the season comes down to. You get an out here, you extend the season. Hamilton gets a base hit. You can assume that a runner at second, Meyer, would get the green light. Now you wonder if they decide to have a runner come in for Ian Meyer at second to try to get some speed out there, but we just doesn't look like it as the Hornets huddle down the first base side. They're back in this one. They waited to the 7th inning to get their base hit, their second hit of the game, but Shively coming in to score on the error. Meyer still aboard at second, I believe, right? We have a runner at second, don't we? Or are we going to have Meyer go back to the dugout? Someone's going to come out and run for him, it seems. There we go. Harley Hoblet is going to be the runner at second. And the clinching run at second base with Corbin Hamilton up at the plate. Hamilton is 0 for 3 today. He has struck out, grounded out, and flown out so far. Hamilton stands tall in the right-handed batter's box. The pitch to Hamilton. First pitch swinging, an elevated fastball. He went around. That pitch looks good when you want to rip one, but Hamilton's got to know he doesn't have to rip one. You just need to find some green out there, and you just might be headed to the state championship. The 0-1 on the way to Hamilton is a curveball that misses in. The count's even, a ball and a strike. Not a bad pitch at all from Wrigley Percy, but Hamilton learning his lesson, not chasing the upstairs stuff here, and he's even in the count at a ball and a strike. Set on the hill is Percy. The pitch. Hamilton waves and misses in a 2-strike count now. Hamilton digs back in, a 2-strike count. Lead off of second for Harley Hoblet. The pitch. Hamilton watches one sail up. Count even 2-2. Outfield in a couple of steps. Some's hit over their head. It doesn't matter. They can't let anything get down in front of them. The 2-2 to Hamilton is going to miss inside, and that'll be ball 3. And Percy's got to watch himself. He's out there arguing balls and strikes. We've already seen one Cheesemaker ejected today. And so the catcher going to come out and remind him, we can't afford to lose you two here. It's the full count to Corbin Hamilton, as Percy really was upset with that ball 3 call. It was in on the hands of Hamilton. I think the umpire got it right. But emotions riding high out there. Here we go, full count. The pitch to Hamilton. Upstairs and a walk, and the bases are loaded for the sophomore Alex Smith. Hoblet to third. Cox in at second. Hamilton aboard. And we are ready for Alex Smith, who has walked a pair of times today. He's also struck out. Smith, who started this season and played about 90% of his games at the junior varsity level, is about to take the biggest at-bat of Henley's season. Bases loaded, bottom of the 7th. A base hit sends you to the title game. The pitch to Smith. Hit into the air, foul territory, out of play. And the count is 0-1. Smith settles back in. Out of the windup, here's Percy. The pitch is swung on and missed, 0-2. Smith going to try to put up a fight here, down in the count against Wrigley Percy. Bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Misses up, 1-2. Max Price is on deck, although he will not be hitting this inning. We're going to get a conclusion to this 7th inning right here in this at-bat. Here's the 1-2. That one's hit center field. Moving over is Garcia. That one is caught in center field. A magnificent catch from Garcia. He lays out to pull it in and end the inning. We've got free baseball in the semifinals at Henley. Back in 60 seconds on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Getting some free baseball today here at Henley High School at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A semifinals, as the Henley Hornets and the Tillamook Cheesemakers tied after 7, 1 apiece. It's been a great game so far. Hornets tying it in the bottom half of inning number 7, and now in steps Wrigley Percy. He'll be followed in the order by Chance Fletcher, then Tyler Larson. That's 5, 6, and 7 in the Mook order against Corbin Hamilton. Still out there dealing for the Hornets as he looks to get by an improbable 8th inning of this start. Here's the pitch to Wrigley Percy. Hamilton from the windup delivers. That one's going to miss low. 1-0. Let's check in on the numbers for Hamilton so far. Corbin has pitched through 7 innings. He's allowed 7 hits, 1 run, and 8 strikeouts. That was pitch number 90 for Corbin Hamilton. And a line drive is gloved by Sims on a hop at second. Good play, 1 gone in the 8th. Sims played that one on a short hop out at second base and was able to record the out. 1 gone, and it brings up Chance Fletcher. Fletcher on the ball game, 2 for 3 today. He singled in the 4th and 6th innings. He also grounded out in the 2nd. Hamilton ready to deliver the first offering to Chance Fletcher. Here it comes. Misses up. 1-0. Tillamook scored their 1 run back in the 4th inning. Henley scored there previously in the 7th. The 1-0. Misses up. 2-0. Thought Hamilton might have been pulled from the game midway through the 6th, but has pitched the 7th and now working into the 8th. They are riding the one that brung them. The 2-0. Swung on and missed 2-1. And I got to say, I appreciate this approach from the Henley pitching, coaching, and staff. It's the 2-1 on the way to Chance Fletcher is a curveball. Maybe that was actually a 2-seam fastball missed up. 3-1. But, you know, you worry about what might happen when we get to the state championship game. It doesn't matter what might happen if you get there. You got to get there. And so riding Hamilton as long as you could take him is what you want to do here. The 3-1 called a strike. 3-2 the count now to Chance Fletcher. And thought it was ball 4. He ditched his bat and was ready to trot on down to first, but now has to settle back in a full count against Corbin Hamilton. Gets the sign from Tacchini. The pitch is swung on and missed. A big strikeout in the 8th inning. 2 gone. And it brings up Tyler Larson. Larson 0 for 3 today. He has grounded out twice and struck out once. If you're curious for Henley, who's due up in the next half inning, it's 8, 9, and 1 in their order. That's Price, Douglas, and Shively. The first pitch to Larson is hit center field. Max Price moving over. He will make the catch. And we go to the bottom of the 8th at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. Tied at 1 on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Max Price, Ryan Douglas, and Connor Shively do up this half inning for the Henley Hornets. It's the bottom of the 8th inning, extra innings at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. Big thanks to the Henley Booster Club today for sponsoring our broadcasts on mybasin.com and making it free for everyone to watch around the state. I want to share with you that we've had record viewership today. Nearly 4,000 folks have tuned in to our broadcast this afternoon on mybasin.com. So big thanks to the Henley Booster Club for supporting us, and big thanks to everybody who's tuned in around the state today. Whether you're a fan all season long from the Basin, or you're a Tillamook Cheesemaker fan, or you're just a fan of 4A baseball, thank you very much for joining us today on what's been a fantastic game. The Hornets going to try to end things here in the bottom half of inning number 8. Max Price settles in. He's 0 for 1 today. He's walked a pair of times and grounded out once. First pitch misses up. he gets ahead here 1-0. One-0 count. Price awaits the pitch. It's a firm fastball that catches the outer third. Count is even at a ball and a strike from Wrigley Percy. Came into the game in the sixth inning and surrendered the lead in the seventh as that pitch misses low. 2-1 in the seventh inning. It was led off by a Shively single, a couple of walks, and an error on a ground ball in the infield that would have otherwise ended the game, allowed Henley to score their tying run. The 2-1 is going to miss upstairs, and the count is 3-1 to Max Price. The Hornets have only got 2 base hits today, but they've left 13 runners on base. A lot of walks, a lot of hit batsmen, a couple of errors have helped them get there, but they're just looking to get one more across as the 3-1 misses up, and Percy very dissatisfied with that call. And again, showing that emotion out there, he's got to be careful. Again, oftentimes that kind of emotion flies at higher levels of the sport, but high school umpires do not like to be shown up like that. And he may have a gripe, he may not, but regardless, he's got to keep it in if he wants to stay in this ball game. Douglas getting ready to step back in now. He's 0 for 3 today. Move over to first. Back safely is Price. Douglas struck out in the second and the sixth. He also reached on an error in the fifth. Here's the pitch. Showing bunt is Douglas. He pulls back, and that one misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. After Douglas in the order, it is Connor Shively. Coach Teeters down the third base side, giving his team signs. The Hornets trying to make it back to the state title game for the first time since 2019. Here's the 1-0 to Douglas. He shows bunt. He lays it down in front of the pitcher. Up with it is the pitcher. Percy throws on to first in time, but the winning run in scoring position for Connor Shively. Team captain trying to do his job here, much like he did in the bottom half of inning number 7 when he led off that frame with a single and came around to score Henley's only run of the ball game thus far. Timeout is called, and they're going to walk Shively to bring up Carson Sims. They want to force at any base, because ultimately the run that Shively represents doesn't matter. It's the one at second that you want to stop from scoring, and so in doing so, getting a force at any base helps you out. As Carson Sims gets ready to settle in now, a guy who through most of the season led the team offensively, has hit a slump midway through the year. He's trying to break out of it here in the postseason. What a way to do it. First pitch to Sims. A chopper down the third base side is in fair territory. Touch on 3 for 1. The throw to first is not in time. And now Tillamook probably has a gripe about this one. That looked to be probably not safe, I gotta say. Sims aboard safely as Price is out at third. Shively advanced to scoring position, and Jacoby Tacchini gets a chance to bat now as they want to talk to each other. The umpires do maybe, as Moncrief comes out of the dugout, their head coach. And I gotta be honest, I think they probably should talk this over now. I want to not be biased, but that was a close play at first for Sims. They're not going to talk it over, and here we go. 2 outs and still a runner in scoring position for Jacoby Tacchini. They're going to walk him. They're going to load the bases, and they want to face Ian Meyer. Right? It looks like that's what they want to do. Timeout is called. And we want to make sure everyone gets this right, as now we're going to have a conversation in the infield on whether or not we decide, I think, to walk Tacchini. This seems to be a conversation with Percy on, do you think you can get Jacoby, or would you rather pitch to Ian, who's in the on-deck circle? Regardless, with 2 outs, a base hit more than likely scores Price. Whether he's at second or third, I don't know if it matters all that much to Tillamook. But we're going to find out as Sims is aboard after reaching on the fielder's choice. Shively is aboard at second, and Jacoby Tacchini is at the dish. It looks like they're going to pitch to Tacchini. Tacchini is 1 for 2 today. Singled in the second, flew out in the third. He's since been walked twice. First pitch misses wide, 1-0. If Takini reaches without ending the ball game, it is Ian Meyer on deck. And if the game continues, it's 8-9-1 due up for the Cheesemakers in the ninth. The 1-0 to Takini is going to be taken outside, 2-0. They go off speed back-to-back pitches, and they miss outside each time as Percy falls behind of Takini. Hitters count for one of the best hitters on the ball club. The sophomore digs back in. Here's the 2-0 to Takini. That one misses up, 3-0. A walk here would load the bases for the third time today for Henley. We'll see if Takini has a green light here in a 3-0 count. The pitch is an off-speed pitch, drops into the zone for a strike. Not a bad offering there from Wrigley Percy. And for Takini's part, he's not wanting to swing at anything off-speed. He's fastball hunting here in a 3-1 count. We'll see if Percy can drop that one in. And we've got timeout. The catcher, I think, had an issue with his glasses. And so he'll ditch those ahead of the 3-1 pitch. They were just sunglasses, by the way. I don't think they were seeing eyeglasses. I wouldn't ditch those. Sunglasses dispatched to the third base dugout. Here we go. 3 balls and a strike. The count to Takini. The pitch is ripped down the right field line, but foul, and the count's full, 3-2. Good job by Wrigley Percy. Credit where credit's due for Tillamook, battling back into this count. Fell behind 3-0, and he's worked it full, 3-2. Payoff pitch coming up to Jacoby Takini. Set on the hill is Percy. And the pitch is, again, hit foul off to the right side. We'll do it again in a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Getting started about 15 minutes ago, by the way, up in the northern part of the state. The other 4A semifinal between Marist Catholic and Scappoose. We'll update you during our post-game show one time today, whether that comes here or later on today, as extra innings continuing here at Henley. Timeout called before the pitch and a balk. A balk is called before the pitch. Everybody advances, even though it was a sharp grounder to third. Takini gets a second chance here. So Shively to third, Sims to second, and the second time that a Cheesemaker pitcher has balked today. Percy's likely going to pitch out of the windup now in a 3-2 count. Shively 90 feet away from scoring the game's winning run. A base hit certainly wins this one now for the Hornets. Here's the 3-2 to Takini. That one's lifted right side behind first base, playable for Fletcher. The catch is made, and we're going to the ninth, tied at 1. It is the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Semifinal here today on 104.3 and 960 Sports.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Getting set now for the ninth inning today from Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School as we get set in the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal. 1 run, 7 hits, 2 errors for Tillamook. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors for Henley as we get set The first pitch taken for a strike in the person of Joshua Manns at the plate. Manns 1 for 3 today. He struck out a pair of times, but he doubled in a run in the fourth. The pitch to Manns is swung on and missed, and Hamilton out in front, 0-2. Corbin Hamilton, let's check the pitch count for him. He was up at 90 last time at the start of the last inning. He's only got 105 to work with. Here's the 0-2 pitch. It is hit into the air, right field. Smith moving over. He makes the catch. 1 gone in the inning. And for Hamilton, now is pitch number 101. And that'll bring up Vincent Maciel, catcher today for the Cheesemakers, and this will likely, you'd think, be the last batter that Hamilton faces, although he can finish a batter if he crosses 105 during the at-bat. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0-1. The count to Maciel, who's 1 for 2 today. He singled in the third, struck out in the fourth, and was hit by a pitch in the seventh. Here is the 0-1. Taken for strike 2. Big strike. If Hamilton can find it here, he'd get to face another batter, I believe, at least. Might be one pitch off. We'll find out here in a moment. The 0-2 pitch. Curveball is going to miss low. Count is 1-2 to Maciel. Vincent, a junior for the Cheesemakers. Hamilton kicks and delivers. The 1-2. It is fouled off right side. We'll do it again, 1-2. And so now this will be the last batter Hamilton faces today. And we'll see who exactly they come up with after this one to Maciel. The 1-2 is a ground ball to second. Sims is up with it. The throw to first is in time. And there's 2 gone in the inning. And that should spell the end for Corbin, I believe. Puts him up at 104? 105. We're going to find out. Looks like he still might be at 104. Coach Connor not up and out of the dugout, so he gets one more. Tristan Smith-Evans stepping in now. 0 for 4 today. All of them have been ground outs. So he gets ready to face Corbin Hamilton. Shows bunt, pulls back in time, and the count is 1-0. Aiden Garcia is on deck should the inning continue for the Cheesemakers. The 1-0 from Hamilton is a grounder to Meyer at first. It goes between his legs and into right field. And an error will extend the inning, and it brings up Aiden Garcia. And that should spell the end here for Corbin Hamilton. It looks like Ty Teeter's getting ready to come into the game. And it seems as though he will. And we will step aside here for 60 seconds and give the new man some time to warm up. Top of the 9th inning, tied up at 1. And the Cheesemakers have a runner on. And we'll step aside as Hamilton gets a well-deserved round of applause for his effort today. Back in 60 seconds on mybasin.com.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
Josh Eldridge back with you here in the top half of inning number 9 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A baseball semifinal. We're tied up at 1 as the Hornets host the Tillamook Cheesemakers, and a new man on the hill for Henley is Ty Teeters. Ty's making his 13th appearance of the season. He's pitched 22 and 2/3 previous innings. He is without a win or a loss. He does have a couple of saves, though. He's allowed 20 hits, 9 runs, 7 walks, and 25 strikeouts. In his 22 and change, he's got an ERA of 2.78 entering play today in the semifinal. He only needs to get one out to try to get his guys back up in the bottom half of inning number 9. And if he's able to, it'd be Ian Meyer to lead things off. 4, 5, 6 in the order due up next half inning for Henley, but Teeters has got to get Aiden Garcia here. Garcia's 0 for 4 in the contest. He's grounded out, flown out twice, and struck out once. Go-ahead run on base for the Mook. As aboard at first is their leadoff hitter, Tristan Smith-Evans. Ty Teeters delivers the first pitch. A curveball dips away, and the count is 1-0. Here's the 1-0 from Teeters as the right-hander Garcia digs back in. Takini sets up the signal. And the 1-0 is going to miss low, 2-0. Want to let it be known that Corbin Hamilton will stay in the game as a designated hitter. He was written in the lineup card as a pitcher or DH. And so although he was removed from his pitching duties, he will still hit for the pitcher spot. The 2-0 on the way to Aiden Garcia. Teeters delivers. That is a check swing on a pitch that misses outside, 3-0. After Garcia, I believe is going to be Lakota Navar. It's the spot in which the player was ejected earlier in the game. I believe it's Navar who came in his spot as Teeters finds the zone there, dials back the velocity a little bit to battle back into this count, 3-1. And I can see the number now. It is Lakota Navar on deck. Teeters with a 3-1. That one's going to miss wide. And a walk will put the go-ahead run in scoring position with Smith-Evans at second. Garcia aboard at first. And here is Lakota Navar. Navar, again, will be the replacement player for Jacoby Goss, who was ejected in the 7th inning of this ball game. Still haven't exactly heard what for, but we do know that he was ejected. And so his season is over as a senior. Even if the game goes in the favor of the Cheesemakers today, he's suspended for the title game. Here's the pitch. A curveball drops in for a strike, 0-1. Kevin Hurleyman is on deck for the Cheesemakers should the inning continue. So Lakota Navar getting his first at-bat today. He saw a big bending breaking ball for strike 1. And now Teeters set with the 0-1 pitch. Another big curveball and another called strike. Teeters works that bender so well. It's less of a traditional curveball. And even as a sophomore, Teeters working more with a 12-6. He really drops the hammer on that pitch. Here's the 0-2. The pitch home. Fastball, line drive over the head of Shively, down in the gap, left center field. One run is going to score. They're going to hold up Garcia at third, and an RBI single from Lakota Navar gives the Mook a 2-1 lead. Garcia to third, an RBI single that time for Lakota Navar, and it brings up Kevin Hurleyman. Hurleyman is 2 for 4 today. He singled in the first and 6th innings. Otherwise, he has struck out and grounded out. Tillamook is taking a lead here in the top of the 9th inning. Teeters set on the hill. And the pitch is going to dip below the zone. A good job by Takini to knock that one down and not allow another runner to come across or allow Navar to advance into scoring position. He's still aboard there at first. Count is 1-0 to Kevin Hurleyman. Teeters looks in, takes a look at the runner at first, now comes set. Here's the 0-1. A curveball again, dips below the zone, and again Takini knocks it down. There's 2 outs in the inning, and in fact, there were 2 outs in the first 2 batters of the inning, but Smith-Evans reached on an error that allowed him to come in and score. It's an unearned run that came in and scored, and it would be attributed to Hamilton, but it is unearned anyway. Here's the 2-0. That one is going to be called a strike. A curveball catches the inner third. A nice pitch there from Teeters, and the count's 2-1. After Hurleyman in the order, it's Wrigley Percy. Teeters comes set again with the 2-1 pitch. Here it comes. That one is going to be a knee-high fastball called a strike, and the count is even 2-2. Hurleyman digs back in. The junior against Ty Teeters. Runner at third in a one-run ball game. The pitch, curveball and a grounder up the middle, past the diving glove of Shively and into center field. 1 run scores. They're going to hold up Navarre at third. And back-to-back RBI singles, and the Mook lead 3-1. Advancing to third on that base hit was Navarre. Situation remains the same. Runners at the corners with 2 gone, and in steps Wrigley Percy. And Jacoby Tacchini comes out, going to issue some signs to his infield in case Hurleyman is on the move, although I imagine that the Tillamook Cheesemakers would like to just keep the train rolling, as technically every run that comes across to score is unearned this inning, as the error occurred with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. It's going to be called a strike on the outer third, 0-1. 2 quick outs in the inning, and then Smith Evans reached on the ground ball to first that went through the legs of Meyer. Garcia walked, and then we've had back-to-back singles since then that drove in runs. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Teeters. That one is going to be swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2. Ty trying to find that put-away pitch here and get his guys back up. Again, 4, 5, and 6 for the Hornets due up in the next half inning. Teeters with the 0-2. Here it comes. Swung on and missed. But the Mook have taken the lead. On 2 base hits in the inning, they score a pair. They lead 3-1 as we go to the bottom half of inning number 9 next on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
Hi, I'm Jill with Klamath Falls Honda. If you live in Southern Oregon, you know the weather can keep you guessing. 1 minute it can be sunny, and the next something like this. That's why vehicles like the Honda Ridgeline just make sense. With available all-wheel drive and the capability to handle whatever rolls in, you're ready for it. And customers like Rob are ready too.
Couldn't have picked a better day.
So whether it's sunshine or snow, stop by and say hi. We'll keep you safe on the road.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Bottom half of inning number 9 at the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball Semifinal on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. It's Ian Meyer, Derek Cox, and Corbin Hamilton due up this half inning for Henley as they trail Tillamook 3-1 in extras in this semifinal game. Big thanks to everybody who's joined us today on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. Appreciate everyone who's joined us today. Again, over 4,000 viewers along with us on mybasin.com for baseball. That's certainly a record-breaking broadcast for us. So big thanks to all the Tillamook fans who've tuned in today and all the baseball fans from across the state of Oregon. You've been treated to a great baseball game. As the crowd gets back on their feet, they know we're near a conclusion. Ian Meyer, first pitch in the dirt, 1-0. Hornets need 2 to tie and 3 to win here in the bottom half of inning number 9. And are we deliberating whether that was a ball or a strike? It brought up some dirt. That's got to be a ball, and it is. And so here we go. 1-0 the count to Meyer. The pitch is going to miss, I think, inside. Count is 2-0. The Cheesemakers fans in attendance less than happy with that call, and they might have a gripe. The count is 2-0 to Ian Meyer. Officiating has certainly become a part of this baseball game. There's no question about that. That pitch was higher than the last one and called a strike. The count's 2-1. Whether it's been calls at first base, balks, calls, balls, and strikes, you never want officiating to be part of the story, but unfortunately today it has been, as the 2-1 is fouled back. The count is 2-2. Derek Cox waits on deck for the Hornets. 2 strikes on Ian Meyer. Meyer's reached on a couple of errors today, but looking to atone for an error he made in the top half of inning number 9 that allowed a couple of runs to come in and score. Pitch to Meyer, looked at for ball 3. And a pitch that was around the knees, might have been on the outside corner, again called ball 3. And it seems that as the game has gone on, the strike zone has shrunk today. And both teams feeling it. Meyer in a 3-2 count. Timeout called at the plate. Meyer wants to collect his thoughts. And we've got the home plate umpire discussing things with the pitcher. Not exactly sure. We've got fans saying Meyer is out of the batter's box, although there's really no chalk line to decide where the box is. And so here's the 3-2. Curveball ripped the opposite way, foul, 3-2. And again, things like that, like is he in or out of the batter's box, that only becomes a conversation when everyone's past fed up with the officiating. And so again, not to wear on that, but that's where that comes from. Here's the 3-2 to Meyer. Rip down the left field line, foul, and we'll do it again, 3-2. The senior Meyer putting up a battle up there, knows that it could be the last at-bat of his high school career if he doesn't get on base here. 3-1 our score, bottom half of inning number 9. Here's the 3-2. That one hits Meyer. He's aboard, tying run up with Derek Cox. We have a meeting on the mound between everybody on the Cheesemakers team except for the head coach. They're upset. And they think Meyer was leaning over the plate, but again, it's not like his arm was over the plate. Was he out of the box? We don't know because there's no box to be seen. We're 9 innings deep into this ball game. We're not re-chalking the batter's box. Hard to say exactly. And Derek Cox gets a chance to bat now. Cox has got a free pass every single time today, whether he's been hit by a pitch or he's walked. The pitch to Cox, misses up. 1-0. After Derek in the order, it's Corbin Hamilton. It's a 3-1 ball game. Bottom half of inning number 9. Cox represents the game's tying run at the plate. Set on the hill is Wrigley Percy. And the pitch is going to miss. Ooh, called a strike. That one is a letter-high fastball over the heart of the plate. Again, it's been tough today. Count is 1-1. To Derek. Here's the 1-1. Curveball, that one finds the zone. Similar location, but that time the bender is what caught the top half of the zone to Cox. And he's behind in the count, 1-2. Cox trying to dig in, the team leader in homers this year. He's got 3 of them. The 1-2, misses up, 2-2. Sophomore Derek Cox began starting games his freshman season. Now in the state semifinal his sophomore year. With nobody out, he represents the game's tying run. The 2-2 is swung on and missed, and a big strikeout there for Wrigley Percy. 1 gone in the 9th inning. Hamilton ready to dig in now with 1 out in the inning. Hamilton without a base hit yet today. He's flown out, grounded out, and struck out in 3 plate appearances, but he did walk in the 7th. And what's going on here? Pause the game. They're pointing at the Henley dugout. Oh, okay. Oh, we're saying, guys, we're calling people's names out. Okay. I think there was a bit of an issue with the dugout. Regardless, no harm, no foul. Here's the pitch to Hamilton. It misses outside, and the count is 1-0. Maybe a touch up as well, as Hamilton, again, he exited the game in the 9th inning as a pitcher, but he stays in as the team's designated hitter. And so he gets to bat here. He's ahead in the count 1-0. After Hamilton in the order is Alex Smith. Percy takes a moment before gathering self on the hill. After falling behind in the count 1-0, he kicks and delivers. That one misses upstairs, and the count is 2-0 to Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton keeps his hands low. The 2-0. Curveball beautifully broken off that time by Percy, and he uses it to get one across there. 2 balls and a strike. Percy gets the sign in from Maciel. He's agreeable. Now the 2-1. Hamilton watches that one miss up by his hands, and he gets ahead. 3 balls and a strike. Ian Meyer is aboard at first after leading off the inning, being hit by a pitch. And now Hamilton represents the game's tying run. He's ahead in the count. 3 balls and a strike. And the pitch is going to miss in. Hamilton works a walk, tying run on. And here's Alex Smith. Hornets not going away without a fight here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Smith, who is 0 for 2 today, gets ready to step in. He's walked a pair of times. He's struck out once and flown out once. Here is the pitch to Alex Smith. That one's ripped foul right side, and the count is 0-1. Only 1 out in the inning. 3-1 our score. The semifinal. For Henley, looking to make it back for the first time since 2019. For Tillamook, for the first time in school history. Cheesemakers 2 outs away from making it happen as Smith fouls one back, and he's got 2 strikes on him. Hamilton a modest lead off of first. Meyer with a good lead off of second. 2 strikes on Alex Smith. The pitch is swung on and missed, and there's 2 gone in the 9th. And now it's Max Price as the Hornets are down to their final out of the season. They've been here before. In the 7th inning, an error extended the ball game and allowed them to score the run that tied it. Now again in the 9th, Max Price looks to be the hero. He's 0 for 1. The pitch to Price. Misses low. 1-0. If Price is able to get on base and extend this ball game, Ryan Douglas is on deck. Price, the number 8 hitter in the order, in center field today for Henley. Trying to do it with the stick. The 1-0 pitch. Misses up. 2-0. Maxey digs back in here. Meyer an extra half step off second as Percy comes set. Now the pitch is a slider that misses away. And the count is 3-0. Good take there by Price on that outside corner. Works ahead here, 3-0. A walk here would move the tying run in scoring position and put the winning run on base. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th. Price ahead in the count, 3-0. The pitch from Percy, taken for a strike. Is Price likely taken all the way there? But now with a strike on him, Price has got to be ready to hit. There is a base open again for Tillamook, but trying to end it here with 2 outs in the inning. Price, more than likely, gonna get a pitch to hit here in a 3-1. Here it comes from Percy. It misses wide, and a walk loads the bases for Ryan Douglas. Can the Hornets come through with the bases loaded? They've had them loaded twice today already. So far in the game, they've left 15 runners on base. The winning run on for Ryan Douglas. Here's the pitch. Called a strike, knee high, inside part, 0-1. Percy out of the windup. The 0-1. Swung on and missed 0-2, and the Hornets down to their final strike of the season. The Cheesemaker fans on their feet. One strike away from the first state title appearance in school history. Percy looks in, gets the sign from Maciel. Kicks and delivers. It is looked at for ball one. Fastball missed below the knees. A good take there by Douglas to see another 1-2. If Douglas finds a way on, Connor Shively bats next. The pitch from Percy is looked at for ball two, missed outside. Cheesemaker fans dissatisfied with that call, and Percy out there dancing around the mound. He's just got to throw a strike. Doesn't have to do all that squatting around. Their assistant coach is going to come out and remind him of that. Can't let your emotions get the best of you with the season on the line. The Cheesemaker fans letting everybody know they don't like that call, but we'll do it again. Here in a 2-2. It is swung on and missed, and that will do it. The Tillamook Cheesemakers, for the first time in school history, are moving on to the state championship game. They knock off the top-seeded Henley Hornets by a score of 3-1. We'll be back in 2 minutes to recap this one for you on 104.3 and 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Wait, all I do is wait. So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
We welcome you back to the OSAA On Point Community Credit Union 4A Baseball State Semifinal. It is final. After 9 innings of play today, the Tillamook Cheesemakers with a 3-1 win against the Henley Hornets. For the Cheesemakers today, 3 runs come on 9 hits. They commit 2 errors and leave 11 runners on base. For Henley today, 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. They leave a staggering 18 runners on base today. That is the back-breaking number for the Hornets. They left the bases loaded on 3 separate occasions today and were unable to get hardly anything across all afternoon. Their only run came in the 7th, and it was on an error. All the runs that were scored for the Hornets today coming of the unearned variety, and 2 of the 3 runs for Tillamook were unearned as well in the 9th inning. 2 outs happened quickly, but then Tristan Evans reached on an error and that extended the ninth inning, forcing his run to be unearned, as well as Aiden Garcia coming in to score late. Regardless, earned or unearned, it doesn't matter. The Tillamook Cheesemakers, for the first time in school history, are moving on to the state championship game, and for the third season in a row, the Hornets come up short in the state semifinal. For Tillamook, their record improves on the season to 18-10. Henley's final record on the year is 25-4, and one other game going on for the semifinals today. I'm going to try to find a score update here for you between Marist Catholic and the Scappoose Indians. Give me just a moment to search this up. Let's see. It looks like it is 2-0 right now in favor of Marist, it would seem. As it looks like, yeah, Scappoose trailing Marist right now into the third inning up there. Encourage you to stick around at OSAA.org to see who the Cheesemakers are going to play in the state championship game. But what a season for them. Improbable. They are the 12th seed, and they are going to play for the coveted Blue Trophy, probably at Kaiser Volcano Stadium in Salem. That game will be played on Saturday this week. You can follow along on the NFHS network or on the OSAA radio network. But for me, our season comes to an end as the Henley Hornets fall in the state semifinals, a score of 3-1. Want to wish the best of luck to all of our graduating seniors, Connor Shively, Ryan Douglas, and Ian Meyer, who are moving on, whether to play college baseball at the next level or attend university and further their career. Can't say enough about the contributions from Shively, Douglas, and Meyer for what they've done this season and throughout the last 4 years for the Henley Hornets. And sincerely, best of luck to the Cheesemaker fans and the team itself who are making their trip to the state championship game for the first time in school history. Once again, our final score here today, 3-1. The Cheesemakers are moving on. Want to thank everybody involved with making today's broadcast possible, as well as every broadcast this season, starting with the Henley head coach, Mr. Sean Teeters, and all of his assistants, Marvin Rosser, Joe Tacchini, Craig Connor, and Pete Whistler. Also thanks to head coach Travis Moncrief of the Tillamook Cheesemakers for getting with us before first pitch today, getting us rosters and stats and starting lineups and all the things we need to do to create a successful broadcast for you on mybasin.com. And that leaves me with you. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Henley High School Baseball, whether it was just today or all season long. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for joining us for Henley Baseball all season long. The baseball for Klamath Basin teams doesn't stop here, though. Although the prep season is over, the Klamath Falls Falcons season begins on June 8th from Kiger Stadium, and I'll be there for you on 104.3 and 960 Sports. Until then, though, my name is Josh Eldridge. Thanks again so much for joining us for another season of Henley Baseball. So long and good night from beautiful Rosser Field on the campus of Henley High School.